itself shows that there is difference. So that itself right there, it's like the reasons that I always get time and time again is that exactly. So like the reasons that I get time and time again is that you can't love yourself and date someone who's not Black. What is it? What else? It's like you can't help the Black community if you're not with Black person, that. So saying that self-hate comes from the fact that I'm dating someone else that is Black, then that would then mean that that truth does not reside in the Black community. But it does. It doesn't mean I'm confused. It just means what I'm saying, people don't like it. It's like you can't. And it's like I get it that it's the introduction of racism and the introduction of white supremacy that causes that truth. And I completely get it. But it doesn't mean that it's not Bible. It doesn't mean I hate myself because I'm not dating someone that looks like me. It's not. That's like me. That's like saying I hate people with cancer because I don't want to date someone who has cancer. Like, it's a dumb analogy and a dumb comparison because there's no, all of those are emotional based arguments and you can't tell me otherwise. I'm sorry, I went on a tangent because it was irritating.
No, it's okay. The game that they're playing is so nasty. Things that we don't even get to see behind the scenes of. Things that we don't even know of. They have done so much. It's disgusting. It's disgusting. I don't want to even, until there is a solution for us, and which does not involve integration, which does not involve us living as a quote unquote big old happy melting pot, so they like to say. I don't want to affiliate myself with you. Now, I have to, because you own the world. You're running the world. I want to, and really, with my ideology going into modeling, I don't know if I'm going to make it far. I don't think I'm going to make it far. Because the mass majority don't agree with me. The mass majority think I'm racist, which I am. The mass majority think my ideology is a threat to the system. I am a threat to the system. White supremacy like mindset. Well, I don't want to say like yours. I'm not trying to demonize you, but they like that perspective. They like the perspective that favors them. They like the perspective that fights for them. They like the perspective that sees the quote unquote the good in them. Because you have had certain relationships, or you have had a few. Are you a racist? I am a racist. If you want to look at it on a technical legality term, I am a racist. I am a racist for my people. I believe that black people are superior. I believe that black people are stronger. I believe that black people are better. I believe that the power actually belongs to us. But is it to us? It's not. Do we have it? We don't.
But that's contradictory, because if we're smarter and better and all of that, then we should have never lost that power.
Yes,
no one should ever play that game.
Every great God has fallen. Every great empire has fallen.
Yes, every great empire has fallen, but we're still living within the system of white supremacy, and it's still pronounced as a great power. Like, see, the thing with that is, it's like, I don't disagree with anything that you said about black people, that we are strong persons. But at the same time, it's like, it takes a level of godliness to not become the monster that you're trying to fight.
No, that's what they want you to think.
At the same time, you have people who think like you, and rather than we have that, like, this same conversation, in some ways it just becomes ISIS and blackface. And it's like, I do not agree that every single person in this world experience the same thing.
I'm not saying experience the same thing, but
And
no matter that's
but that also goes
literally
that
is
goes
what
though.
that is. Then you just literally disagreed with Marcus Garvey. Like, you were just saying that Marcus Garvey's philosophy, which is a very prominent leader that I worship the ground. If he was alive, I would worship the ground that Marcus Garvey walked in. I would kiss
tell
his
me
feet.
his philosophy that is.
When I look at white supremacy, I don't look at, oh, for example, I don't say he's Irish. I don't say you're if you're white, you white.
Mm-hmm.
If you're Caucasian, you're Caucasian.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, and you're probably thinking, oh, so are you only? I've said this before. If it does not benefit, if it's not harming, if it does not have anything, if it's not going to benefit Africans, I cannot fuck with it.
But that's the thing, though. Like,
I can't.
Your solution is for Black people with Black experiences in Black America. Your solution is not universal to those who are African. And you can if we had a panel right now of 10 Africans that told you that the solution that you think you're coming up with does not fit our needs, you're going to say, yes, it does. Because it's like
if I have 20 people sitting right here right now, and let's say 11 people is for the cause, by the cause, and the only thing that's stopping us is maybe what am I'm trying to think of shit. I should have paid attention in math class. That's what I should have did.
11 people are for the cause, by the cause. So then 9 are against.
9 people, thank you. Mm-hmm. I should have paid attention. But 9 people are not for the cause. So you're telling me that I'm going to not go for the cause because those 9 people are not for the cause?
That's not what I'm saying at all. That's not what I'm saying at all. I'm saying you as an African now living in America versus that of a Black American who is multi-raced and mixed within different Western places of Africa.
Mm-hmm.
If you sit at a panel right now with 10 Africans that tell you our experiences are not the same, who are you to tell them that it is?
So let me point out some stuff. We're not being oppressed in Africa. I'm gonna ask questions. I'm gonna ask questions. No, but that's the thing. Don't try to dig it out. Look at from the general point. We're not being oppressed in Africa.
No, we are being oppressed in Africa.
Okay,
but that's not just
you said yes, right? You said right. You said yes, right?
I refuse to let myself get caught up into like wordy and open-ended questions that generate a specific answer,
but it's
that
happening.
benefits the other cause. Because it's like that's like me saying, so what is it? So if you are walking at night and somebody walked up to you, are you just going to shoot them? No, you're going to want to know the situation of the cause. You're going to want to know why you're going to react. You're not going to just say yes. And that's usually the questions that I receive. And for me, I respectfully say I genuinely do not.
When you go to court, when you go to the high court, when they sit down, do you see the thing that they put in their head? The little cap thing? Mm-hmm. It's made for white hair.
Of course it's made for white hair. But what I'm saying
that's the thing. That's not our system.
But it's still like
it's their system that they have created and they have cultivated and gave it to us to follow.
So we as intellectuals of higher beings just accepted it. Like that's my flaw.
But that's the thing. Even in Africa, we don't have our own system. We're not running our education system. We're not running nothing. We don't have nothing. They put black faces in office to make it seem like it's our office and it's our ideas, but it's not our ideas. There's nowhere in this world, or there's nowhere that we have our own. We don't have nothing here. We have nothing. Even if it's in Africa, we don't have it. It's not our own. It's being ran by them, that is put in blackface in front of the line to make it look like it's us, but it's not us.
But that is still one. A system cannot be successful without the oppressed not giving in to the oppression. And so that being said, Africa would not be owned by Europe without Africans selling out Africa.
But they gotta go too. They can be a part of the revolution too. We can't. I'm not being biased.
Said though, then you can't say that it's all pure white supremacy, because
but it is pure white supremacy because they're coons. They're Negroes. It's blackface in the face of coonery. Yes, you're black.
Saying defend, but see, that's counteractive, because you're saying we can't throw them to the wolves. We can't throw them to the wolves. We can't discredit them and dismiss them as human beings. But then, so that's where the line kind of the threshold of it just does not make sense. Because on one aspect, you're saying defend your people and only your people at all costs. And then the other half of it, you're saying it's not their fault, but it is their fault because there's people who are at fault. It's not as stabilized. It's not as stable as it seems. Just because it's written down doesn't mean it is. You're saying, so here's my only argument with that. You're saying that you're for black people, all black people, no matter the cause. But if they're rapists and all of this, stay away from them. That right there is the essence of not picking a side.
What do you mean?
You can't support something that you have to avoid.
What do you mean? You're not making sense.
You're saying to avoid those who are rapists, who do bad things to you, and
no, I'm saying to avoid white supremacy that's doing that to you. Avoid the people that are oppressing you. And if that means that is a person in a black face but acting as a white supremacist, they must go too.
That person is still black though.
You're still black, but you just can't be a part of this revolution because you're detrimental to this revolution.
But the essence of your topic is not consistent, because it's you can't, what's it called? You can't say you're supposed to be for the people, by the people at all times, right? But avoid people who put harm to you. And then in the same sentence be but the person putting harm to you, if they're black, stay away from them. They're no longer black. You can't, you're playing both sides within your own logic, but making it impossible.
This is how non-biased I am. This is how non-biased I am about this. Or this is how non-emotional that I am about this situation. Let's say I have children. And I have to pick the revolution, the betterment of my people, which is we're going to come together. We're going to follow these black codes, which are strict and to the point. White supremacy have a system, and that system works. Whether you believe it or not, they stick to the system. They stick to the code.
So you would kill your...
Let me finish.
Okay.
With the exception of a few of them, which are called the black sheep, which is also prevalent to the black community. If you're my daughter and you're speaking like this, and they said it's time for the revolution, we gotta drop everybody that's not for the cause, by the cause, or with the cause, I will let you go.
Just my phone being extra.
Period. There's no argument. Do I love you as my daughter? Do I care for you as my daughter? Do I respect you as my daughter? And do I wish that it doesn't have to be this way? This is how non-biased I am. This is how non-emotional I am. This is how, for the cause, we have to start.
Then that's not true love. Then you don't truly love your daughter. At the same time,
I do love you. But like I said, I am African before I am anything else.
You have to be human to even like have
No,
the option
but
of being African.
African makes
You're not
me
an
human.
African lion. You're not an African lion.
Being
You're an African human.
Being African makes me human.
You have to be human in order for the ability to be African to even be implemented.
No, but
yes!
being African is what makes you human.
No! Humanity, the essence of humanity is that of being a human being, right?
Mm-hmm.
Being a human being, you first have to be a human to even get a
No,
name.
but what you're not getting is what makes me human is the fact that I am African. If I was not African, I am not human. So what makes me a human is because I am an African. So with that being said, being African, if I was not African, I'm not human.
Oh, my phone hates me.
If I'm not African, then I'm not human. So with that being said, being African comes first.
Sandra, don't laugh at me.
What makes me a human.
You wouldn't even have the option, though, to even be African if you're not human, though. There are African lions.
Caucasians are not human.
What?
Because they're not African.
That doesn't make sense. It doesn't. The essence, you cannot, okay. There is no way on God's green earth that one would be able to procreate with something outside of its species, regardless of how you define human to be. You can't do it. It's not biologically possible.
Okay, let me rephrase that statement. 100% human. Let me rephrase. I apologize for not being specific. I am 100% human because I am African.
You can't procreate with someone who's not 100% human then.
That's not true.
Yes, it is, because it's in the nature around us. Birds can't crossbreed, right? If their essential DNA do not match to a fault, it's impossible. It's impossible.